122 Com Introduction to Algorithm, main coursework April 2021. My name is Weekend Hong. My INTI student ID is P20012893 and my CU ID is 11323998. This is my video for Task 1, Python, Question B. This is the question. Write a program function that will receive a list of integer numbers. The program will be able to display the list of numbers, count the odd numbers from the list, count the even numbers from the list, and display the sum of number from the list. This is my program for question B. Firstly, this is the function that I've created that is called receive, and this is the part to receive the list of integer numbers from user. Firstly, I'll explain this part first, then I'll explain the function. So here, the first thing I've written was number list. I created an empty list to accept the integer numbers from user. Then the program will prompt the user with this question: do you want to add numbers into the list? y/no. .upper method to change all character into uppercase character. In that case, users can enter lowercase or uppercase. At the end, the program will change everything to uppercase. Next, if the user enter y, which means yes, and n, which means no, then y is not equal to n, then there's a try to handle the exception in case the user enter other data type than integer. This part, the except part, is at the bottom. If the user enter y, then the next input function will be displayed. So the program will ask the user to enter integer numbers to add into the list. Based on the input, this line of code will append, which is add the input provided by the user, which is the integer numbers, into the number list that I've created earlier, which is an empty list. So now the input given by the user will be append into the number list. Next, another input to ask the user, do you want to add numbers into the list? y/no. The upper is the same as the above. So if the add number is equal to n, which is no, then the program will call this function. Okay. If this is yes, for this input the user enter y, then the while loop will continue back. So while add number is not equal to n, y is not equal to n, then this line of code will run again, and user will be able to input the next integer number into the number list. This accept is to handle other data type, as I only allow integer here. I include integer only because the question asks for integer numbers. So if the user enters string like 1 or float, (1.2), then the program will print enter integer numbers only and show example 4, 5, 6. and the program will continue the loop, the while loop. So after this, the program will prompt this line of code, enter integer numbers to add into the list. Now I'll explain the function receive. So firstly, you need to write def define the function name, which is receive, and the parameter is this. After that, I created two lists, odd list and even list, odd list for odd numbers and even list for even numbers. Then there's a for loop for I in list. If I modulus 2 is equal to 0, means that there is no remainder, then it is an even number. So I'll add the value into the even list, which is even list dot append I. If I modulus 2 is not equal to 0, which is else other than 0, then it means that it is an odd number. So I'll add into the odd list. So this is the code, odd list dot append I. Next, I will have a print function that print the list of numbers is based on the list of numbers provided by the user. Then there's x, y, and z. X is to count the number of odd numbers, y is to count the number of even numbers, and z is to calculate the sum of the numbers from the list. So to count the numbers, basically I just use the length function ln. So for odd numbers, just len odd list, and for even number, just len even list. Then I'll print for both. The number of odd numbers from the list is string x, which is this, and the number of even numbers from the list is string y, which is y. And for the sum, I use the sum method. So I just use sum list. Then I print the sum of number from the list is plus string set. So this is my program. So if add number is equal to n, then the program will call the function receive, which is this function receive, with the parameter being the number list, with the list of numbers that is provided by the users. Okay, so this is my explanation. So next I'm going to try to run the program and see if there is any error. The program will first ask the user, do you want to add numbers into the list? So I'm going to enter y, which is yes, in lowercase. Okay, the upper method works. It changes all the lowercase all characters into uppercase character. So now I'm going to enter integer numbers to add into the list. So I'm going to enter 4 numbers. I'm going to enter 1, 2, 3, and 4. So first is 1. Okay, it works, and the program asks the user again, do you want to add numbers into the list? Now I'm going to try in uppercase y. So okay, it works also. Then again, enter integer numbers to add into the list. So now I'm going to enter string, which is TWO for 2, and okay, it informs the users to enter integer numbers only, example 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to enter 2, and yes, I'm going to add the third number, which is 3. So I'm going to enter in float 3.0. Okay, again, enter integer numbers only, example 4, 5, 6. And lastly, no, you enter 3, then yes, then I'm going to enter 4. So now I'll enter n, which is no, and the program will call the function receive, and will display the list of numbers, the number of odd numbers from the list, the number of even numbers from the list, and the sum of number from the list. So n. Okay. So it's the list of numbers is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So number of odd numbers from the list is 2, which is 1 and 3. And number of even numbers from the list is 2, 2, and 4. And the sum of number from the list is 10. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, and 6 plus 4 is 10. So everything works. So this is my video for question 1B. Thank you.